Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at this latest Miles Morales figure from the Across the Spider-Verse wave. This is a figure that was leaked a long time ago. This wave got leaked and Hasbro only really officially announced it the other week. Orders went live and this was really the only figure from the wave that I was wanting to pick up for reasons I'll get into later in the video. So he has arrived. I want to take a closer look at him here on the channel. So let's just jump right into it. Before we do though guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this wave, because I've seen a lot of mixed opinions, and yeah, once again I'll get into that. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. While you're down there guys, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and let's just take a closer look at this box as we always do. We get Miles here in the packaging. It's the retro card, not the same as what we got in the last Spider-Verse wave, but I don't mind this at all. I quite like the artwork they've used. We get Spider-Man up the top, Across the Spider-Verse. I do apologise guys, got a bit of a cold, but had to make this video. The grind don't stop, right? Gwen up top, we get Spider-Man 2099, Miles here, Marvel Legends, Miles Morales, the figure. On the back we get a product image here. I do like all the colours and things that are being used. Miles, Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I think Miles and Spider-Gwen look good. Spider-Gwen didn't look different enough from the first film for me to really want to pick this up. Spider-Man 2099 looks like a Happy Meal toy. Jessica Drew looked alright, I suppose. I see a lot of folk giving love to this Spider-Punk figure. Man, I think it looks whack. I think it looks awful. I'm sorry. I think it's partly just to do with the design. Like, the character design in the film is obviously very unique, very specific to the animation style, and I just don't think it translates well to figure form. I don't know, maybe it's just the design more than the figure itself that I have a problem with, but yeah, not a fan of the look of that figure. The spot, whatever. And then Peter B. Parker is super disappointed. We got a wacky, goofy Peter B. Parker figure from the first film, and when I say wacky and goofy, it's just this design of him with the long jacket, the sweatpants, shoe missing and things. I'll take him out of the box later. And then in this wave, you know, they did the same with Miles in the last one, the jacket, the trainers and everything, and I did think that was great. I did really like that. This wave they give us Miles in his full costume, alternate head. It looks amazing. For some reason they've just not done the same with Peter B. Parker. They've given him half his costume and then given him blooming sweatpants, and yeah, not really what I wanted from Hasbro this time around for Peter B. Parker, so was disappointed. But I was happy enough just picking this one up. Mostly for this head sculpt. This head sculpt looks amazing. The more I look at the costume here, this looks really good as well. So yeah, let's just bust this thing out and see what we're dealing with. And so here is Miles out of the packaging, and he comes with a whipping pair of hands to change round. He's got fisted hands in at the moment. These look pretty nice. There's some texturing at the top there, some sculpted detail, red paint on the bottom. I like the look of them, and an alternative head, and this looks amazing. I think this head sculpt is incredible. This is the main reason I really wanted to pick this figure up, just because the last Miles figure, as much as I really liked it, the head sculpt didn't look super accurate, and this one looks amazing. I mean, this one looks incredible. I love this, and I'm so happy to have this Miles head sculpt. I'm gonna try and put it on the PS4 Spidey later in this video, and hopefully that looks really good, because that would be an awesome head swap, and it would make getting this Miles head a lot more worth it. But yeah, here's the figure. That's all the accessories it comes with. I think this figure retailed for around £20 to £23, which was the price of Marvel Legends for a long time before they started increasing the prices. A lot of folks started then complaining about the prices, and it seems like going forward Hasbro are now cutting back on the likes of accessories and bringing that price down, and personally I don't have a problem with that. I think if they're going to give us a quality, you know, standard figure, a wee quality standalone piece with a couple interchangeable hands and an alternative head sculpt, and then give us that lower price point, I don't have a problem with it. If they need to lower the price of these figures to stop fans from straying away from the line, to stop people from complaining about the price, they're gonna have to cut something somewhere, right? Like, surely that's how that works. They're gonna have to cut the quality of something to be able to give us that reduced price mark. And it seems like they're going with the accessories, which makes sense to me. I would rather they cut the accessories rather than the sculpt of the standalone figure. I don't know. Everyone seems to have a lot of different thoughts at the moment with Marvel Legends. Don't get me wrong, I think a lot of the criticisms are valid, but I also think the Marvel Legends are kind of the toy brand everyone loves to hate. They are kind of like the Nickelback of the toy lines, and yeah, I think there is a lot of valid criticisms, but once again, I think folk are very nitpicky just for the sake of it. And as I said, a big thing was the price increases. They've reduced the price, but they're going to have to make a cut to justify that, right? And it seems to be the accessories. So I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this at all. Great head sculpt. We get the thwipping hands, and then we get the figure here. Of course, I would have liked wall crawling hands. I think probably wouldn't even be that expensive to give us wall crawling hands, but you know, it is what it is. And here's the figure itself, and this looks great. This looks like Miles from the show. It doesn't look too Happy Meal toys like some of the others necessarily do. I love the paint they've used. There's a lot of texturing going on in this figure. It looks like it's worth it. It really does. And yeah, I'm not sure I would necessarily say the same about a lot of the rest of the wave, but here we go. This is the suit design for the new film. I can't wait to see the new film, and we still have quite a while before it's released. So yeah, this figure's definitely getting me hyped. The head sculpt looks very alien-like, I will say that. He's got the massive eyes and just the shape of the head. Very Paul-like, but you know, it is what it is. I think it's cool. Of course, Spider-Man gets called a bug all the time, and that kind of just reflects that. We get like a different tone in the head sculpt, definitely black at the back, and then gets to this kind of darker blue at the front. Don't know if this is kind of the spray paint thing again. Don't know if he spray painted his suit, how he's acquired this suit, but yeah, we get this different shade of dark blue and black going throughout it. We get this, it looks spray painted, the spider logo here again, the way the kind of legs drip down, but who knows, maybe we'll get a closer look of the suit making progress in the film. The back logo looks wild. I quite like it though. Once again, I'm guessing it's probably spray painted on, but it is a cool design. I like how it's going upside down, I like how big it is, and it's kind of connecting to the sides of the costume as well, and the whole time there's a lot of texturing going on. Hasbro Marvel Legends always give the Miles figures that extra attention to detail. I mean, this is kind of similar to that PS4 Spidey with the amount of texturing and things going on in the costume. It's great to see, and we see it more in the front up here, and then going down into the ab area where we see a lot of that dark blue as well. This looks very scaly, very scale-like with some dark blue paint on it, and we see that in the arms as well, up the top, darker down the bottom, but this scaly kind of texturing going on all throughout. Pretty wild actually, but I'm digging it. It is cool. It's something different. We see it in the legs again, and then we get the feet. Kind of very skinny figure, but of course it is the design. It does feel a bit, I don't know, I'm very wary of how easily this thing could maybe break, but it feels delicate. I think that's the word that I want to use, just because of the framing of this figure. But overall, I think this is a really cool piece. It really shows off the costume. Nice diverse colours being used here, nice contrast going on, great suit design, great texturing. I'm glad I've picked this thing up, especially with the Miles head sculpt. Let's actually swap that over and see what that looks like just now, and then I'll bring in some of the other figures. Okay, the ball joint on this already looks tiny, so I'm telling you right now, that is not going on any other figure, which is a bummer. That is really a kick in the teeth. And here he is with the head swap, and I think this looks spectacular. This looks really, really good. This is probably how I'll display the figure. It looks awesome. I love that. I really love the head sculpt. I really like the body. Yeah, this looks great. It is a shame though that I don't think the head sculpt's going to fit on any of the other figures. But speaking of other figures, let's get to it. I'll keep the Miles head sculpt on just now, and I'll bring in, let's go for PS4 Spidey first. So here is our Across the Spider-Verse Miles next to the PS4 Gamerverse Spider-Man Miles Morales figure, and this is still definitely my favourite Miles Morales in the collection. One of my favourite Spider-Man Marvel Legends in the collection, just such a fantastic figure. If you've not seen my video on this one, guys, feel free to check it out. But yeah, these two look great next to one another. These two figures are fantastic Miles Morales figures. And of course, as I said, I really wanted that movie Miles head sculpt to fit on this body, and there's absolutely no chance. Look how big that peg is. And then, yeah, that's the best we're gonna get. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. That would have looked awesome. Think about how good that would have looked. That would have looked so sick. But yeah, it's a shame. But two great figures. Happy to have them both. I would definitely recommend picking up this Miles figure, even if you have this one here. And yeah, let's go for Spider-Gwen. So here is our Across the Spider-Verse Miles next to our Into the Spider-Verse Gwen, and as I said at the start of the video, the newer Gwen figure isn't really enough for me to pick up when I already have this one. I think this one still looks really good. The new one looks just really similar. I don't know if the head sculpt will look maybe just a wee bit more mature, a wee bit older, as of course she is older in this film, but for the most part, yeah, it doesn't look different enough for me to mix these up here. And I think these two do look really good next to one another, so I'm happy enough with sticking to the Into the Spider-Verse Gwen for the time being. And then here is our Hasbro Marvel Legends Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse figure next to the Marvel Legends Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse. And I, once again, kind of same comments, there's really no need to pick up the newest Peter B. Parker figure if you have this one here, and I think this one is a much better figure than the new Peter B. Parker figure. It comes with a lot more accessories. You've got the cup, the two pairs of interchangeable hands, the alternate head. Then I think the design's just a lot better as well. The new one isn't new enough to, or different enough to pick up in my opinion. I think this one looks great still. I think the head sculpt's really good. It holds up, especially next to Miles here. I think these two look terrific next to one another. But I do really like the jacket, the odd shoes. He still has the sweatpants. The new one, you don't get the Peter B. Parker head, you just get the Spider-Man costume up the top and the sweatpants in the bottom. Definitely a downgrade in my opinion, not different enough to pick up, and I think this one actually looks better next to Miles, so this one definitely still holds up. And then we get our Across the Spider-Verse Miles next to our Marvel Legends Into the Spider-Verse Miles, and both of these figures look really good. After, you know, standing this one next to our new Miles here, it reminded me how much I do really like this figure. I think this is a great Marvel Legends figure, and I like how this one's a wee bit taller. It shows growth. Once again, these two do show enough difference to justify buying the new Miles. This figure looks very different to this one here. Looking at the head sculpt, you can see that it was almost there, and then this one's just came in and smashed it. Of course, I'm going to have to do a wee head swap here, so let's see what that looks like. Hopefully it will work. Oh man, I totally forgot this one has the peg on the head. Really, like, surely Marvel Legends are taking that into account. I mean, they've really just screwed us over with this fantastic new Miles head sculpt. They've given us this amazing sculpt and only one figure to be able to use it on. That is really a bummer. I really wanted to put this head sculpt on here. I could probably still sit on, hold on, if you got some like blue tack, You might be able to hold it in place. Never mind. Yeah, it's like proper in his body. That sucks. I was looking forward to that. I remember saying at the time I thought that was weird that the ball peg was in his head rather than the body. It is one of the only Marvel Legends I've got that's the case, and it's definitely came back to bite me this time around. It is just a weird decision, but is what it is. Both of these are still great figures. I love seeing the progression here, and I can't wait to see the progression of Miles in the film. Here's Miles next to one of my favourite Spider-Man Marvel Legends at the moment, the Amazing Friends 3-pack Spidey, and yeah, you can see the frames of these figures are completely different, with one being super stylised, one being a more classic comic figure, but yeah, standing around the same height, and there we go, there's a comparison there. And then for a wee movie comparison, here is the spinning kick Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2. And yeah, they look cool next to one another. Some real Spider-Verse themes going on here. So I'll try and run over all the articulation on Miles. You can get the head moving really far up. Holy moly, that is awesome. Shame we don't get any wall crawling hands to accommodate that. I mean, come on. But yeah, that's really good. Get the head sculpt moving about that far down. I really like that. Left, right, it's going to go all the way around. Doesn't really pivot, but you can move it about. Arms moving about that far up. Get it. Ooh, don't want to move it the bicep. Once again, it feels very delicate. That far into the body, all the way around. Upper bicep swivel. Oh, I forgot to mention it's pinless. That's really sick. I didn't actually take that into account yet. But yeah, pinless, double jointed elbows. Wrist move backwards and forwards, rotate round. Same articulation in this arm here. He has this upper ab crunch, which I've seen a lot of folk point out, just looks insane. There's no movement in the bottom of the ab area, so yeah, like, it might just look a bit odd sometimes. You can probably make it work, but looking at it from side on is some nightmare fuel, for sure. Just had a coughing fit, but yeah, maybe some nightmare fuel going on here. But yeah, maybe the biggest downfall of the figure, that and the wall crawling hands, but I'm still, I don't think it takes away from the figure that much. You can get this waist cut here, left and right, get the leg kicking about that far forward, that far back, that far out the way, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, get the foot moving backwards and forwards, and it will pivot around as well. Should be about everything, probably missed out something. And so there we have it for our latest Miles Morales as part of this Across the Spider-Verse movie wave from Marvel Legends. And I think this is a really nice figure. It's not like amazing by any means. I don't have the same reaction to it the same way that I had when I opened up the PS4 Miles Morales figure. But I'm still really happy with this piece. I think it's a great, solid Marvel Legends figure as part of this movie wave. And I would definitely recommend picking it up, especially if you have the previous Into the Spider-Verse Miles. I think this is a great progression, mostly with the Miles Morales head sculpt. And I think that is the main thing that's bummed me out, the fact that we can't use this head sculpt on any of the other figures, especially the previous Miles figure. Yeah, the articulation looked a wee bit off as well, but once again, I think it's going back to translating the style of these figures into figure form, and I think Marvel Legends definitely struggled with that in a few of these figures in the wave. Maybe it's just me. I don't think this is necessarily one of them. I think this is a really solid piece. I really like it, really happy to have picked it up, really happy to have this latest Miles, and yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, especially with what I was saying about the accessories side of things. I think if it's going to allow me to buy this figure for cheaper. I'm happy not to get as many accessories. What do you guys think? While you're down there, guys, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description below, so feel free to hop on over there and check that out. I'll definitely be posting pictures of Miles up there, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page as well and check out any of my other videos. Damn, like, looking back on the Into the Spider-Verse figures, that would have been a couple years ago now. Maybe don't check them out, that could be embarrassing, who knows. But yeah, it'd be cool hopping on over there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.